Hello and welcome back to Smith Robotics. Today is just an update of everything that's going on at the moment, so I'll just get right into it. This here is the last modification that I'm ever going to do with Springtrap, I mean. So basically I took all the servo motors out of the ears and that, like, if you've seen the short video that I made and that where I tested it and everything without the outer parts on, it works great pretty much, apart from this ear here, mostly because I think it's so heavy and that the servo motor that was in here, whoops, is a bit too heavy, so I think I'm going to change the design when I'm going to be building a spring bonnie. Well, two different spring bonnies, but I'll get back to that later on. So pretty much the only thing in here now with servo motors is that eyelids, and pretty much just for this ear here, there's one down there, if you can see, because it was just easier than rather than putting a whole bunch of springs just holding it. But these now have springs in it, so yeah, if you can hear. So like that. Apart from this ear right here, because this keeps detaching and everything, so I'm gonna have to fix that today. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, I'm still working on the Foxy cosplay head that I'll be selling soon. I've literally only designed everything on one sheet of paper. Yeah. And last night I stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, just trying to get through some of the ideas and designs and everything. So yeah, I had to make it a bit smaller from the original model that I had, because otherwise it would be like really gigantic and everything. But yeah, this is what I've got so far, so I'm not too sure if I'll be selling the files. I might though, I might not, depends, but like just because the majority of the time I would like to, but like it's just little parts, like maybe this or just a few of the mechanisms in here where like I'm just don't really want to or anything. But then I realized that if I sell them, or if I like give out a few of them and that, I could possibly give them out and that, and like some people are like, oh yeah, just fix this and that and everything, so I could possibly do that, then everything that will be fixed. But I think for a Springtrap model, that won't be possible for quite a while, to be honest, because that there, it was not an original model, actually. What I mean by that is that this was not Springtrap originally. This is Spring Bonnie, and then pretty much everything out of here, all the holes and everything, that's all carved out by like a soldering iron and everything. So like all these parts here, they were not 3D printed in, because I wanted to give them more of a natural look. Also, I made it much more dark, and like you can still see slight bits of yellow here and there, particularly on the ears and that, but I made it just a lot more darker, and then you can see like different shades of green, black and everything like that, just to make it look like as if he's actually been moulding and everything and rotting. So yeah, see inside of his mouth there. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think hopefully if I get some of the mechanisms done today and everything, and if I've test printed one or two things, hopefully later on today I could actually start 3D printing it out like properly, and then throughout the week I could get all the bits put back together and that, because I separate the bits, then use a soldering iron, which is there, and just like put them all back together, which I do for pretty much everything, like Springtrap, Foxy over there, and even some of the, and pretty much everything else. That's why it's got these lines here, which then afterwards I like try and sand them down. I can't say that. Sand them down. Stupid dyslexia. But yeah, yeah, that's why they're there. I quite like them on some of them. It makes them look like they've been welded together, like actually like metal welding and everything. So yeah. Man, some of them, like if they're supposed to be like newly updated and that, like then like, or if they're supposed to be like the toy or Funtime animatronics, then yeah, I would try and do my best to like get rid of as much of the lines, as much as pretty much anything. But on these ones, they're not too bad, to be honest with you. So yeah, especially like the wizards and that, they're like supposed to be old and withered. That leads me to another another thing to think about is do I add in like little bits of like, I don't know, like bits of black paint like around just to give it an old dirtier look and everything, because I'm not too sure about that. I think once I get all fabric and everything done, that should be good. But here's a problem which I have. I do not have the different shades of fabric, unfortunately, for different parts, like for the eyebrows and inner ears and that, and for the snout. I don't have them. I've only got one particular red colour, which is that over there, which I've got on Foxy. However, what I could do is, which I've actually tested with like different mixtures of different reds and everything like that, and a bit more darker reds, is that I can always just paint them in and that, like, as long as nobody like goes up and inspects them saying, yeah, that's not an original colour, I don't like that. As long as like nobody does that and everything, hopefully it should be fine. I'm not too sure if I should have the, I don't think I'm gonna have the eyebrows. I called them spots before, but not freckles. I will, and the nose, and of course the what do you call it? Teeth. The teeth and the eye patch and everything. I won't put fabric over them or those parts of the ears there, like the little bits. I'll make them more metallic and everything, just to make it more accurate and everything. But I will sand them down and then prime them and everything like that, which unfortunately I don't really think I can do that today because the weather is crap. But yeah, hopefully that should be done. And I am still working on Spring Bunny and Springtrap, two different ones, because now I think what I'm gonna do for Springtrap is make him into an actual cosplay. So I'll still be adding like spring locks and that in, but I'm not going to be adding any of the mechanical parts or anything like that. So for example, arm joint, what I was thinking of using is a bevel gear system for the arms and that, which I'll still be using for Spring Bunny, but for Springtrap I think I'll just have normal ball joints, if you know what I mean. So it can still look game accurate and everything mostly. But yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to do that for just Springtrap and that. So for Spring Bunny, it'd be a whole different game and everything like that, you know, just make him actually a spring lock animatronic suit and that, even for the other Spring Bunny head, which I finally, hopefully this mechanism which I've got in my head works. So yeah, I'm going to have to test that out this afternoon. But yeah, pretty much that's it for an update video and stuff. So yeah, I think once I get that earpod done though, is that I'll actually put in like a control board inside and that, so like I can put the eyes on, like the eyelids on, move them, I had the LEDs on there. For people who say, oh, put purple LEDs in the eyes, I am not doing that. Mostly because I like to stay more accurate to the games, and in not one of them it shows his eyes, Springtrap's eyes, being purple. Fair enough, I think in the AR game it shows them being red at one point, but that's in the AR game, not FNAF 3, so yeah, I'm going to just make them white still. So anyway, that's it for today. See ya.